Post-training notice. National First-Class Registered Exorcist. Chapter 68. Inside Story. According to Wang Lei's info, Hu Ziniang said, the report that Dinghai saw in the exorcism committee, a few of my own deductions and Xiang Cheng's memories, things came about basically like this. The dense, cottony rain covered the earth and sky. A figure clad in a straw cap walked along the winding path by the river, coming to a stop in the rain. Dad, Xiang Cheng's voice said. The water basin's full. Water dripped from the eaves, landing on Xiang Cheng's head. Inside, Xiang Jianhua's voice said, take the lid out and cover it. There came the sound of the wooden lid being put over the water basin. Xiang Cheng suddenly sensed something, and he lifted his head swiftly, running out of the yard as he stared into the endless darkness beyond. The rain pattered down on him as he asked warily, who's there? No one replied. What? Xiang Jianhua pushed the door open and came out, asking, what did you see? A Yaogwai. The father and son duo stood together, staring into the pitch-black night. Xiang Jianhua lifted up a lantern, shining it on the road so dark that nothing could be seen beyond their fingertips. Xiang Cheng went back and got a peachwood sword, saying, I don't know what kind of Yaogwai it was. But Xiang Jianhua blocked his son's weapon, saying, don't go right for the kill as soon as you lift a sword. Among people, there are bad people, and among Yao, there are also good Yao. In the past, your mother even took in a wounded Yao and let them stay in our house. Xiang Jianhua held the lantern aloft as he circled around the house, but he didn't find anything. That figure sat in a tree, weeping silently. Xiang Cheng saw, and he peered into the trees. He also alerted his father by pointing up at the tree. Why don't you go to sleep? Xiang Jianhua said. But. Go sleep, Xiang Jianhua repeated. Xiang Cheng glanced at it again, but he had no choice but to go back inside and go to bed. A moment later, he sat up uneasily, pressing his ear against the window to overhear what was going on outside. Let me see him, just one look. A very, very quiet voice. It seemed to be in a woman's pitch. He's asleep, Xiang Jianhua replied quietly. Why have you come back again? Let me see him, just one look. Don't come back again, Xiang Jianhua said. Go, quickly. The footsteps came inside, and Xiang Jianhua shut the door to the courtyard. Who was that? Xiang Cheng suddenly asked. An old friend, Xiang Jianhua replied. Was it Mom? Xiang Cheng suddenly asked. If it was your mom, would I still be here? Xiang Jianhua asked in response. Your mother took in a Yao before, and they just so happened to pass by, so they wanted to get a look at you. Does she know where Mom went? Xiang Cheng asked. Xiang Jianhua let out a sigh, and he shook his head. Sleep ba, Xiang Jianhua said. Xiang Cheng closed his eyes. In this instant, Hu Ziniang lifted a hand, and the light in the illusion grew brighter. On that rainy night, rain poured down outside, and Xiang Cheng slept amidst the sound of the rain. Right after came the sound of scales slithering along the roof tiles, and a huge python, completely indigo in color, appeared from within his body, as if it had heard something. It lifted its head, passed through the window, and began to meander through the courtyard. Xiang Cheng, the woman's trembling voice called. Xiang Cheng. Her face was wet with tears as she saw that faintly glowing indigo python. The python did not understand, and it turned its head, the face of the woman reflected in its pupils. It circled her once, and the woman wept with joy. She moved, as if she wanted to reach out and stroke it, but she couldn't help but grow nervous and scared. Xiang Cheng, the woman's voice said. It's Mom. It's Mom. Its eyes studied the woman and became they filled with warmth. That woman began to cry, and she hugged its snake head, stroking it as she sobbed, Do you want to go with me? The boss snake turned its head attentively, rubbing its head affectionately along the woman's neck, before leaning against her trembling shoulders. "I'm sorry, son," that woman lifted a hand. She held a plume of black fog in her hand, and she fed that into the snake's mouth. She let out a harsh sob, and tears dripped down her face. "Don't blame Mom." Strange black devil marks appeared across the woman's face, and they spread to cover her entire body. "Mom doesn't have any other choice either." The boss snake's throat moved a little. The seed of Mara protruded a little from its body, and the boss snake turned its head, trying to spit it out. Its body stretched forward with the motion of vomiting, and it kept tossing its head, but no matter what, it could not spit out that seed that it had been fed. And Xiang Cheng, lying on the bed inside the house, also began to move violently, and he began to dry heave. "Xiang Cheng." Xiang Jianhua came down the stairs from the attic. Outside the house, Xiang Cheng's mother left immediately. At this point in time, the sacred seed had already been fed into the boss snake's body, Hu Ziniang said. "But Yaoji, that bitch, actually managed to keep all of this information from us without making even the slightest peep." Mara's voice spoke. No wonder then, that the divine seed couldn't be found in Yaoji's body any longer. Hu Ziniang raised his hand and swept it across, and Zhou Mokuo and Xiang Jianhua appeared in the image. The two of them were currently sitting in the yard drinking beer, while Xiang Cheng was in the kitchen, roasting a wild rabbit. The autumn air was crisp and fresh, and the clear sky above stretched endlessly. "These are his memories," Hu Xiniang said. "The humans sent Zhou Mokuo there to persuade his father. These are the pictures they took in Lhasa." Zhou Mokuo's baseball cap covered his face. He handed the pictures to Xiang Jianhua. "Look." "What?" Xiang Cheng asked, wiping his hands and coming outside. "Nothing much," Xiang Jianhua said. "Go get 2 gin of Beiju." Xiang Cheng had no choice but to take the money and go buy the alcohol. Xiang Jianhua said, "I can promise you, but I have 3 conditions." Zhou Mokuo said, "I've already done my best to fight on your behalf. The exorcism committee will not accept your conditions." "Then there's no need," Xiang Jianhua said. "I would rather that she stay with the Yao clan than put Xiang Cheng at risk. Your marriage, from the start, was a mistake," Zhou Mokuo said. "She approached you with the intent of using you. She simply wished to give you a son. If I hadn't found out the night of your marriage, who knows what state Xiang Cheng would be in now." Xiang Jianhua smiled bitterly and shook his head. Zhou Mokuo continued, "The most recent diplomatic envoy that the exorcism committee sent resulted in too many deaths. If we do not stop Mara's plans, then in the next decade, if it does manage to revive completely, the entire human realm will be burned to ash. If you aren't willing to be the bad guy, then allow me to do it. I won't let you take away Xiang Cheng," Xiang Jianhua said. Xiang Cheng came back from buying the liquor, only to see Zhou Mokuo outside the door. He pulled the cap of his hat low, and he climbed into an SUV. "How come he's leaving?" Xiang Cheng asked, confused. "Less nonsense from you," Xiang Jianhua said. "Go practice your sword forms." Xiang Cheng had no choice but to go practice, but this time, he was a little more clever, and he snuck back, only to hear that in the yard, his father was sobbing. As twilight fell, Xiang Jianhua had drunk himself into a stupor, and he was slumped over on the table, sleeping. Xiang Cheng carefully patted down his father's body for those few pictures, but he did not find them. He dug around in the darkened room, and finally found them in a locked cabinet. There were 3 pictures inside. The first was of a totem, and on the totem, a snake was coiled around a naked woman. Xiang Cheng found this very odd, and he flipped to the next one, only to see, on an open-air sacrificial altar, a blurred figure. That was a woman, kneeling on the ground, her hair fluttering in the wind. Her mouth was open, and a snake's forked tongue shot out of her mouth at the sky. Black chi filled the air, startling under the brilliance of the bright moon. The third picture was likewise a candid photo. Many Yaogwai with blue faces and red lips appeared in it, and they bared their fangs and brandished their claws, as if they were conducting some sort of a ritual. The woman's silhouette appeared from behind as she walked towards the altar. The photo had been shot from a cunning angle, it looked as if it was taken on the rafters in a house. Xiang Cheng only saw the back of that woman, but he was immediately shaken. The sound of a bottle falling over came from outside, and Xiang Cheng immediately put the pictures back and locked the cabinet. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Back then, Lin Yura sent people to sneak into the sacred land, Hu Ziniang said. That lasted until we fell prey to an ambush, and after we discovered the divine seed in that bitch's body, we let Xiang Jianhua trick her into going back. It was then, in one fell swoop, that we caused the Battle of Mount Ba. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. It was another rainy night. Xiang Cheng lay on the bed, gasping constantly. His forehead was covered in sweat, and his body was bare, green snake scales appearing across his body. Even his eyelids had grown stiff. He must be killed immediately, Zhou Mokuo said. It was Yao Ji who cast this spell. As long as she can undo it, Xiang Jianhua said, Xiang Cheng's life will be spared. Zhou Mokuo roared, stop being too naive. Xiang Jianhua. Xiang Cheng was in great pain, and his entire body could not stop convulsing. Zhou Mokuo said, the Ba snake in his body is currently struggling, he's on the verge of turning into a Yao. Si Gui. Xiang Jianhua called. Protect this place. Don't let them take Xiang Cheng away. Xiang Jianhua pulled out the peachwood sword, and golden light glowed across its body. Zhou Mokuo immediately went racing out after him. On the other side of the mountain ridge, in the darkness, Hu Ziniang stood behind Yao Ji. Do not take another step forward, Hu Ziniang said. You are bearing the next generation of Mara in your body, so you must not take any risks. That is my son, Yao Ji said calmly. Hu Ziniang said, the reason they set up such a plot was for the sake of stealing the sacred seed in your body. It is exactly because they set up such a plot, Yao Ji said in response, that I must go. I have the infinite resurrection of the grasses spell in my body, so I will not die. Are you insane? Hu Ziniang raged. What if they manage to destroy the sacred seed? Yao Ji glanced at Hu Ziniang, before she turned her head and said, let me tell you something. And saying that, she moved to stand in front of Hu Ziniang. Hu Ziniang's body stiffened as a pair of sharp snake fangs pierced his neck. Without even looking back, Yao Ji walked away. The moment she took a single step onto Mount Ba, the entire forest roiled with activity. A torrential rain began to fall from the sky, and black chi began to billow aggressively from the forest, seeping into the sky. A humongous face, twisted in a grimace, began to form from the black clouds that filled the sky, and it was currently roaring in displeasure. Xiang Cheng gasped for breath, and one of his hands swept across the tabletop. The plates and bowls fell to the floor. There was a long cry, which slashed open the rainy night. Si Gui turned into a glowing white phoenix, and it flew in from the rooftop, trying to shoo him into the room. Xiang Cheng propped himself up with the help of the wall, but he took no more than a few steps before he almost fell, gasping so hard that he seemed as if he would stop breathing at any moment. Mom! Xiang Cheng felt that his mother was nearby, and he shouted desperately. Si Gui dived, trying to grab him with its claws and take him back, but an odd change happened to their surroundings. A huge hand formed from the darkness, grabbing Si Gui viciously. Si Gui struggled in the air, spreading colorful feathers. The house caught on fire and began to burn merrily away. Xiang Cheng staggered out into the courtyard. Xiang Cheng! Yao Ji rushed over, embracing her own son. Xiang Cheng began to sob loudly. In the dark night, Yao Ji and Xiang Cheng flew into the sky, but the sky and the ground were covered with exorcists. "Wait here for Mom," Yao Ji said. "Don't go." "Don't mind me," Xiang Cheng said. "I heard them say that they laid down a trap to capture you. Go. Go quickly. Mom. Go." But Yao Ji turned a deaf ear to Xiang Cheng's words. She shut her eyes and rose into the sky, her pitch-black robes fluttering in the wind. With a wave of arms, she shook open her long, flowing sleeves. "All exorcists, take note," Lin Yura's cold, reserved voice resounded through the air. "Focus all of your spell power on attacking her." The forest was filled with fireballs and lightning. A huge tree burst into flame, and Xiang Cheng rushed into the forest, heedless of the danger he was in. "Mom!" Xiang Cheng roared. "Leave this place." Yao Ji shut her eyes calmly as she summoned all of the beast souls that had been buried under this plot of land. Her body glowed with a bright light, and countless Yao souls swirled around her. In that instant, they filled the sky as they all rose into the air. The Changjiang roiled as a black devil Jiao flew out from it, and black energy rose from the mountain ridge into the air. "After Mom kills them all, I'll take you away," Yao Ji murmured, opening her eyes. Devil markings seeping black chi appeared on her forehead, and the pupils of her eyes shrank into slits. Right after, a golden dragon came roaring out, spewing blazing flames. The trees around it caught on fire, and the mountaintop turned into a huge ball of fire. Right after that, Xiang Cheng stepped into thin air, plummeting down the 50-foot-tall cliff. Xiang Cheng Yao Ji's shrill shriek slashed open the night sky. Xiang Cheng opened his eyes, and the last thing he saw was Yao Ji flying towards the ground. The golden dragon shot towards Yao Ji, and at the same time, Xiang Jianhua, Zhou Mokuo, and a third man all shot forward towards her. That man called back the golden dragon, which turned into a divine whip that crackled with bolts of lightning. It wrapped around Yao Ji. Xiang Jianhua, with the sword of wisdom in hand, rushed behind Yao Ji. An hourglass appeared in the air, and the passage of time slowed. Half a second, 1 second. No matter what, the sword of wisdom in Xiang Jianhua's hand could not go stabbing downwards. "Attack!" Zhou Mokuo thundered. Xiang Jianhua shut his eyes, and he stabbed the sword right into Yao Ji's back. In Xiang Cheng's eyes, all that he saw was a flash of golden light that had appeared so quickly it was almost impossible to discern. The man who was controlling the golden dragon was the first to fly towards Yao Ji, and Xiang Jianhua raced forward, as if he wanted to save her, but with a flash of golden light, blood spurted out of his mother's body as she leapt towards Xiang Cheng. Yao Ji pulled Xiang Cheng to her, landing by the riverside. A wild wind blew over the bank, and Xiang Cheng collided with a rock, spewing out fresh blood. The sound of Lin Yura's incantation filled the air. Yao Ji's face was turned up towards the heavens, and she laughed, shrilly and wildly. She stared upwards at the circling golden incantation in the sky. "Mom, you," Xiang Cheng's mouth was filled with fresh blood. "Don't be afraid." Yao Ji was also covered in blood, but she hugged Xiang Cheng, helping him sit up. She said warmly, "It's just a few minor wounds. Look, they'll heal very soon. You must live on," Yao Ji whispered into his ear as she hugged him. "You must get revenge for Mom, listen to your dad, become an exorcist, then, kill them all." Yao Ji began to sing a beautiful song. As she sang, her body glowed with light, and Xiang Cheng's wounds from his fall healed. But in the sky, Lin Yura finished her incantation, and the light came pouring down. It lasted for an eternity, but it also lasted only for that single second. In Xiang Cheng's arms, Yao Ji's body turned to dust, and she vanished completely. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Who's in Yang? From the very beginning, Yao Ji had been lying to us. She didn't have the divine seed in her body at all, and from the very beginning, she had transferred the divine seed into the boss snake's body. Mara's voice replied, "So that's how it was." No wonder I haven't found anything, despite searching for so long after that. Both of them fell silent for a long time. In the end, Hu Ziniang said, after that, the sword of wisdom was taken away and sealed in the Lingjing alley. The moon eclipse bow and great sun ring that Yao Ji brought back are still in our hands, which leaves the golden arrows whose whereabouts are unknown. Breeding a host from the bloodline of Akalanatha will definitely result in immeasurable power, Mara said. Yao Ji had many cunning tricks up her sleeves, but that also granted us fortune in the midst of misfortune. Yes. Hu Ziniang bowed, turning his gaze away. Finally, Mara's voice said, you have always been resourceful, but back then, when Yao Ji was determined to return, you did not have even an inkling of her plan. Evidently, you two are trash. Hu Ziniang didn't dare reply to that. Mara continued, Wang Lei, the past few years that you have spent as a spy have not been in vain. Yes, yes. Wang Lei hurried to bow. Hu Ziniang added, we will definitely bring Xiang Cheng back. Mara let out a cold chuckle, and the communication ended. At 2 o'clock at night, a basin of icy cold water was splashed onto Ji Xiaoduo's face, and he woke up. Beside him squatted the naked Lang Dog, and Lang Dog was currently holding up the icy water, drenching himself with it. It just so happened that it splashed all over Ji Xiaoduo's face as well. Ji Xiaoduo couldn't help the shivers that racked his frame at that. He studied Lang Dog's naked body. Lang Dog was very, very skinny, so skinny that he was basically skin and bones. Each of his ribs were clearly visible, and he was squatting there as he washed himself off. The thing that only male dogs had, his huge balls and that thing, both drooped softly, touching the floor. What is this place? Ji Xiaoduo asked. The place where you'll be slaughtered. Lang Dog smiled dangerously. Lang Dog wiped his lower body a few times, before he put on a pair of long pants and shrugged on a dirty sweater. He walked over and grabbed Ji Xiaoduo by the hair, forcing him to lift his head. He stuck out a tongue and licked Ji Xiaoduo's face, clicking his tongue in admiration, and he remarked, "You'll definitely be very tasty." Ji Xiaoduo bore the discomfort of the saliva on his face. The only thing he felt was that he was very cold, and he was almost frozen stiff. Thoughts flashed through his mind. He wondered if Kita and the rest of them had found Xiang Chen yet. The cold wind blew in from every direction, and he had been tossed into a corner of the storeroom, his phone to one side. Where was Hu Ziniang? There was a discrepancy between this and his predictions. He originally thought that Hu Ziniang would capture him and bring him back as a hostage. That way, he would be able to find out where they were hiding for the time being. And there was no way that Hu Ziniang would kill him, so taking such a risk would more or less result in figuring out Hu Ziniang's scheme. Lang Dog picked up his phone, glanced left and right, and swiped at it a few times. Ji Xiaoduo gasped for air, so cold that his lips were turning blue. "Do you want the passcode?" Ji Xiaoduo asked. "Let me be a little warmer, and I'll tell you the passcode." "If you don't tell me," Lang Dog said, "I'll eat one of your hands first." Ji Xiaoduo replied, "If you eat my hand, then I will never tell you the passcode. That way, once you get the 6+, you can only hold it like a brick." "It's a roof tile," Lang Dog corrected him. Ji Xiaoduo. "As you please," Ji Xiaoduo said. "I'm about to freeze to death here. I'm still useful to you alive, right? Whether it's as food or for some other reason, you'll have to defrost me first, right?" When Lang Dog thought about it, it made sense, but how was he supposed to help Ji Xiaoduo warm up? He looked left and right and was about to take off his sweater, but if he didn't wear the sweater himself, he would be cold. Ji Xiaoduo thought, "This kidnapper's IQ seems to be a little lacking, huh? I love people like you. Let me figure out how to trick you into letting me go." Lang Dog sniffed around outside the storeroom, before he finally found a bucket, which he sniffed at. Gasoline, Lang Dog murmured to himself. Lang Dog brought the gasoline over and twisted the lid off, tilting it towards Zhi Xiaoduo. Zhi Xiaoduo hurriedly shouted, "Don't pour it over me. Lang Dog, don't you want to stay warm? I'll burn to death, okay." Zhi Xiaoduo was on the verge of admitting defeat. If he hadn't realized that something was wrong just now, he would have died without anyone even knowing how wronged he would have been. "Go over there," Zhi Xiaoduo said. "There's a rotten sofa. Tear off the wood inside and bring it over, then pour the gasoline over it and set it alight." With a few swipes, Lang Dog tore the sofa apart. He placed the firewood spaced apart, and Zhi Xiaoduo said, "Pile it into one mound." Lang Dog pushed the firewood into one pile. Zhi Xiaoduo asked, "Do you have a lighter?" Lang Dog reached out a hand, and with a bark, his arm turned into a thin, bony paw. He slid a claw down the firewood swiftly, sending up a few sparks, and with a boom, he lit the entire pile of wood on fire. Zhi Xiaoduo thought, "Thank the heavens and the earth, I was about to become comatose from the cold." As soon as the fire began to burn, his entire body had grown a little more comfortable. Zhi Xiaoduo said, "The passcode is 40S. Lang Dog unlocked Zhi Xiaoduo's phone, and he asked, "Are there any games?" "There's a lot," Zhi Xiaoduo said. "The battery is full, so go play with it as you please." "Which ones are games?" Lang Dog asked, looking towards Zhi Xiaoduo. "Just click on one," Zhi Xiaoduo said. "QQ matching game needs a login password," Lang Dog said. "Use my login," Zhi Xiaoduo told him the password, and Lang Dog logged in. He asked, "There isn't Wi-Fi here, will it use data?" "I have 4G, Zhi Xiaoduo said. "Every month, my data limit is 10 GB. Use it as much as you want." Lang Dog said, "Filthy new money bastard." Lang Dog logged in while saying, "4 chickens is much faster. Boss only has 3 chickens, and he doesn't let me play games." "Is Boss Huan Yang?" Zhi Xiaoduo asked. When Lang Dog heard Huan Yang's name, he shivered and nodded, and fear appeared in his eyes. He didn't dare reply directly. Instead, he pressed the phone a few times, before asking, "How do I play?" Zhi Xiaoduo had no choice but to scoot over, directing Lang Dog to play the matching game on QQ. With that, Lang Dog focused on the game and began to play. As the two of them played, the door to the storeroom opened. Xiang Cheng and Wang Lei walked in. Zhi Xiaoduo almost shouted out loud, but he suddenly felt as if there was something wrong. His reaction took place in the span of less than a second, that was completely instinctual thanks to the atmosphere in the room. This Xiang Cheng was one that Huan Yang transformed into. As Xiang Cheng walked along, he shifted into Huan Yang's appearance. Lang Dog was still absorbed in his matching game, but suddenly, he was lifted bodily into the air and sent crashing headfirst into the wall of the storeroom with a thunk. "Motherfucker," Huan Yang said coldly. "You can't even kill a few people, and yet you're here, playing a matching game." Lang Dog's head was bleeding profusely from that collision, and only after it hit the wall did it let out a pained cry. It was still clutching Zhi Xiaoduo's phone in its arms. Zhi Xiaoduo roared, "If you have anything to say, then say it nicely. I let him play it. What are you doing?" Huan Yang kicked Lang Dog in the crotch and said, "Get up." Lang Dog let out a pained grunt, and his entire body curled up. Huan Yang kicked him a few more times, and Zhi Xiaoduo roared, "Stop beating him up." "You'd best worry about yourself," Wang Lei chuckled. Zhi Xiaoduo. Huan Yang taught Lang Dog a cruel lesson, and Lang Dog was beaten until his face was swollen. His mouth was filled with blood, and one of his eyes became puffy and swollen. His legs trembled constantly, yet he propped himself against the wall and stood up, watching Huan Yang, one hand still holding onto Zhi Xiaoduo's phone. "Kneel," Huan Yang said easily. Without my explicit permission, you are not allowed to eat. End chapter. Post-training notice. National First Class Registered Exorcist. Chapter 69. Rescue. If you want to tell me something, there's no need for all this trouble. Zhi Xiaoduo said, wouldn't it be enough for us to have some tea in a dream? Kill him ba. Wang Lei replied, the night is long, and dreams are many. No, it's more useful to keep him. Hu Xiniang wiped his face, sniffled, and smiled triumphantly at Zhi Xiaoduo. I'm here to remind you to remember your eyes. Hu Xiniang pressed Zhi Xiaoduo's head and forcefully rubbed it. You won't succeed. Zhi Xiaoduo said, you want to transform into me to trick Xiang Cheng, don't you? He's such a smart person, he'll definitely figure it out. Wang Lei said, should I send Jinghao to watch him? You don't have to use a butcher's knife to kill chickens. Hu Xiniang said, he can't run anywhere. A Yao subduing engineer who doesn't even have any equipment, why would you be afraid of him? Wang Lei had to give up. Zhi Xiaoduo immediately felt the danger and said coldly, what do you want to do? You won't succeed. Hu Xiniang was about to leave but Lang Dog opened his mouth and let out a pleading sob from his throat. Hu Xiniang remembered and threw a sausage to Lang Dog. Lang Dog pounced forward to pick it up. If he runs away, you know the consequences. Hu Xiniang said. Lang Dog squatted on the ground with his legs spread. Zhi Xiaoduo saw him wagging his non-existent tail in a trance. Hu Xiniang left the warehouse and took a deep breath. His whole body began to change into Zhi Xiaoduo's form. Let's go ba. He said in Zhi Xiaoduo's voice. Zhi Xiaoduo didn't even know what had happened. Lang Dog peeled open the sausage, roasted it briefly over the fire, stuffed it into his mouth, and swallowed it whole. After eating the sausage, there was a strange goo-dash sound. Zhi Xiaoduo looked at Lang Dog's belly, then at his own. More hungry now. Lang Dog said. Bear with it ba. Zhi Xiaoduo said, I don't even have a sausage. Lang Dog could only keep silent as he carefully pulled out the cell phone and continued to play. Zhi Xiaoduo asked, are you a dog Yao? N. Lang Dog obviously had no hostility towards Zhi Xiaoduo. Zhi Xiaoduo asked, when you just brought me here, why did you bite me outside the highway? Hungry, couldn't control it anymore. Lang Dog replied. Zhi Xiaoduo. How many meals do you eat a day? Zhi Xiaoduo asked again. It depends on boss mood. Lang Dog replied. Zhi Xiaoduo asked, how many meals did you eat today? 1. Lang Dog replied. Zhi Xiaoduo. You are also a Yao after all. Zhi Xiaoduo said angrily, can you at least try to bring credit to your people? Boss won't let me steal food. Lang Dog said, it'll reveal our whereabouts, and you humans will lock me up in a seminary. Zhi Xiaoduo, it's mental sanatorium. Lang Dog, N. Lang Dog concentrated on playing with the cell phone and glanced at the upper left corner of the phone from time to time. Are there any messages? Zhi Xiaoduo asked. No. Lang Dog replied. Then why do you keep looking at the top? Zhi Xiaoduo asked. Lang Dog, I'm afraid its battery will run out. Zhi Xiaoduo said, it won't run out, it's at 95%. You can play for at least 5 or 6 hours. Lang Dog, N. Zhi Xiaoduo, why do you follow the fox Yao? You're so noisy. Lang Dog angrily said, don't talk, I can't get past this level ah. I'll help you pass it. Zhi Xiaoduo said, untie my hands. So, Lang Dog undid the seal on Zhi Xiaoduo's hands, and Zhi Xiaoduo helped him through that level. Lang Dog took it over and asked, do you have everyday love elimination? Yes. Zhi Xiaoduo said, but play Secret Mayan Treasure instead ba, you'll never stop once you start playing that. Zhi Xiaoduo's hands were untied, and as he thought about how to escape, Lang Dog played and played at his side until he couldn't get past a level again. He said, "Help me pass." As he said this, he unzipped his pants and went to the corner of the warehouse to pee. Zhi Xiaoduo said, "Go outside." Lang Dog went outside, squatted on the ground, raised his foot and propped himself against the wall of the warehouse. Zhi Xiaoduo thought, "Very good, pretty obedient Then he clicked on the map app, geolocated himself, forwarded it directly to WeChat, sent it to the WeChat National First Class Registered Exorcists group chat, and sent it separately to Xiang Cheng as well. The message had already been sent out. Would anyone see it? Kita should be able to see, Zhi Xiaoduo thought. Lang Dog came back again and squatted to watch Zhi Xiaoduo help him clear a level in the game. After Zhi Xiaoduo finished playing, he handed him his cell phone. Lang Dog happily picked it up and continued to play. Zhi Xiaoduo was very close to him, and he saw several scars on his brow, in addition to the cracked skin at the root of his ear that peeled back to reveal bright red flesh inside. He didn't know whether it had been torn or frozen, and both his hands were covered with chilblains. Lang Dog's eye was still swollen. Zhi Xiaoduo suddenly felt sorry for him and said, "Untie my feet, too. Don't run away." Lang Dog said, "Boss will kill me." "I won't." Zhi Xiaoduo said, "I just want to go out and get you some snow to put on your eye." Lang Dog said, "It's cold outside, don't go out." Zhi Xiaoduo said, "I'll just be outside, and I'll go pee while I'm at it." Zhi Xiaoduo went out of the warehouse, immediately crouched down, and ran. Lang Dog's ears twitched sensitively, and he stuck the cell phone in his pocket before running out. "Let go of me!" Zhi Xiaoduo shouted, "Help!" Lang Dog's hand then covered his mouth, and Zhi Xiaoduo was dragged back again. It seemed that this guy wasn't completely devoid of IQ. Lang Dog turned Zhi Xiaoduo upside down and dragged him back all the way. As Zhi Xiaoduo was dragged along upside down in the snow, he saw a man standing far under a tree. As Zhi Xiaoduo watched, the man waved his hand and motioned for him not to say anything. "Help is coming." Although Zhi Xiaoduo couldn't tell who it was, he was completely relieved. Lang Dog sealed Zhi Xiaoduo's feet again. Zhi Xiaoduo said, "I want to pee. I was busy running away just now and didn't have time to pee." "Pee in your pants." Lang Dog even raised his head. Zhi Xiaoduo wailed, "How can I do that?" "Lang Dog, what's wrong with that?" "I often pee in my pants." Zhi Xiaoduo. "Have you ever played Everyday Love Elimination before?" Zhi Xiaoduo changed the topic and asked. "It's on boss cell phone." Lang Dog nervously cleared squares and replied. "He gave you his cell phone to play with?" Zhi Xiaoduo asked. "Very few times." "Why don't you buy your own cell phone and play every day?" "I don't have any of your human money." "You could do a contract and get a phone." "Don't have an ID card." "Can you stop asking?" Lang Dog asked angrily as he ran out of lives. Zhi Xiaoduo hurried to say okay, okay, okay. After a moment of silence, Zhi Xiaoduo thought, why doesn't the person outside come to save me? Who is it? It's not Xiang Cheng, it's not Kita, and it's even less likely to be Chen Zhen. Chen Zhen had said he was going to send support at 5 p.m. It's already 3 in the morning now, and if you got on the plane, got off the plane, and took a car over, it should be about this time now. Is this someone from Beijing? He glanced out of the window, and saw that someone had written some words on the window. Get information out of him. So, Zhi Xiaoduo then asked, what does your boss usually do? Did he say why he kidnapped me here? Don't know. Lang Dog began to play Plant vs. Zombies 2. He tapped a few times, then said, how do you make an in-app purchase? I want to buy a winter melon. Zhi Xiaoduo took over the cell phone, entered the password to let him buy plants, and asked, that guy called Wang Lei, when did you guys get to know him? Lang dog, they've always known each other. Zhi Xiaoduo thought, sure enough, my inference was right, and asked, why are there so many Yaoguai in your community? His lordship Mara sent us there, Lang dog said, that's our temporary headquarters. Zhi Xiaoduo asked, do you guys have a salary? No, Lang dog said. Zhi Xiaoduo said, you don't even have enough to eat, and they make you run around working all day. Boss is my master. Lang dog took the cell phone over. Change your master ba. Zhi Xiaoduo said, I'll be your master, and you'll definitely be full with every meal. Xiang Cheng cooks very well. Lang dog hesitated for a moment, and Zhi Xiaoduo immediately said, you can eat whatever you want. Lang dog looked at Zhi Xiaoduo. Just as Zhi Xiaoduo thought he could sway his allegiance, a fierce light actually appeared in Lang dog's eyes, which made Zhi Xiaoduo shiver. No. Lang dog said, boss is my master. Zhi Xiaoduo thought, then you guys can all drop dead, alright. When I slip my leash, see if I won't kill that fox. What do you usually do all day? Zhi Xiaoduo asked, catch people to eat? I don't know. Lang dog said. What kind of dog are you? Zhi Xiaoduo asked, what kind of dog is your real body? A German wolfhound. Lang dog replied and asked, are you a man or a woman? A man. Zhi Xiaoduo felt that this conversion was too weird. What did that guy outside want to ask him anyway? He really couldn't make head or tails of it. Don't stand there wasting time, can't you catch this dog and threaten and then play good cop / bad cop with him? Buy him a basket of soup dumplings and he will surrender immediately, alright. If you still don't do anything, I'll complain to Chen Zhen. Zhi Xiaoduo said coldly, what exactly do you want to ask? Can't you ask yourself? What? Lang dog was really at a loss, unable to tell what was going on at all. As he was looking puzzled, suddenly, the window exploded. Lang dog turned pale, then transformed into a skeletally skinny black dog. He roared and pounced on him. However, the man who had rushed in from outside the window moved faster than him. With a shua, he pulled out 2 tang swords and twisted them. The light of the knife drew up a whirlwind, Zhi Xiaoduo rushed to the side, and the whirlwind sucked in all the firewood and gasoline in the whole warehouse. The gasoline flew out and ignited immediately when it met the fire. It turned into a blazing red dragon that whirled towards Lang dog. Lang dog's eyes showed some fear, and it turned and ran away. The man held a sword in his hand and another sword on his shoulder and said with a smile, where are you running to? Don't kill it. Then a sharp tang sword spun as it shot forth and nailed the black dog to the wall of the warehouse. The man was covered in snow, and was wearing a white snow camouflage suit. He took off his hat, shook it off, stepped on the ground a few times to shake off the snow on his military boots, showed his face, and said, sorry, I'm late. It was Xian Hezi. Zhi Xiaoduo recognized him, so he let out a breath and nodded. I never knew what you wanted me to ask. Zhi Xiaoduo said, the situation is very urgent. Xian Hezi came over, took out some incense from his arms, lit it in a flash, crossed it over the seal on Zhi Xiaoduo's foot, and the seal disappeared on its own. Let me do it, ba. Xian Hezi went to Lang dog and put another knife against its neck. Lang dog couldn't help struggling, blood dripping from its ribs. Xian Hezi drew a rune array on his abdomen with a knife and said, show your human form. Lang dog gradually shifted to human form, and the knife stuck into his ribs still pinned him down, making him unable to break free. What is the nine-tailed celestial fox's purpose in luring Xiang Cheng in? Xian Heki asked with a smile, be sensible. If you talk, I'll leave you with an intact corpse. Lang dog was wheezing, bloody foam coming out of his mouth. Xian Hezi had stabbed him in the lungs. Are you talking or not? Xian Hezi asked. Zhi Ziaduo's heart immediately leaped wildly. What Xian Hezi wanted to ask was this. I won't talk. Lang Dog replied. Well then, goodbye. Xian Hezi replied. No. Zhi Ziaduo cried. Xian Hezi hesitated in bringing down the knife, and Zhi Ziaduo said, don't kill it. If we don't kill it, the nine-tailed fox will kill it when it comes back. Xian Hezi said to Zhi Ziaduo. Lang Dog, are you willing to follow us? Zhi Ziaduo asked. He felt that this Yaoguai wasn't bad, at least, not by nature. No way ba. Xian Hezi was startled and said, you want to work with a Yaoguai? Boss is my master. Lang Dog cried out in an unreconciled fashion, boss is my master. Zhi Ziaduo said, I don't want to kill it. Forget it ba, let's go. Xian Hezi pulled out his knife, and the wound on Lang Dog looked like it was corroding, emitting white smoke. They pushed the door to go out. Going down the stairs at the side of the road, there was a motorcycle parked there. Xian Hezi, wearing fingerless gloves, got on the motorcycle and said, Director Chen sent me and Xiao Bin to meet you guys, and Kita told me to save you first. They have already received news, and they're at the hotel. Kita is looking for the whereabouts of Xiang right now. I won't go yet. Zhi Ziaduo said, do you have any food? Xian Hezi looked at his watch. It was 3:30, and all the stores were closed. Follow Lang Dog. Zhi Ziaduo said, he will definitely try to find Hu Ziniang. Xian Heka said, Zhi Ziaduo. Zhi Ziaduo. Can you give me a comment first? Xian Hezi said, reply to Chen Zhen and give me a score with the app. Zhi Ziaduo had to log in to the internal network of the Exorcist committee with his cell phone, where he discovered there was an additional collaborator section. That included ratings like very satisfied, satisfied, dissatisfied, and very dissatisfied. Zhi Ziaduo really wanted to mark dissatisfied for his collaborator, but upon remembering that he had run to Kaifeng in -10 degrees weather to save him, going through both wind and snow, he still marked very satisfied. There was the sound of snow falling overhead, and Zhi Ziaduo was startled. He thought it was another Yaoguai, but he found that it was Sigui shaking out its wings while looking down from the tree. That's great. Zhi Ziaduo whispered, Sigui. Sigui flew down and landed in Zhi Ziaduo's palm. Xian Hezi asked, this is Xiang's phoenix. N. Zhi Ziaduo thought that Xian Hezi may have received some mission, so he didn't want to tell him too much about Xiang Cheng in order to not reveal too much. It's so cold. They waited under the bridge for nearly 10 minutes before Lang Dog limped out. He had been badly hurt by Xian Hezi just now. That knife hurt his inner dantian just now. Xian Hezi said, I'm afraid he won't live long. Zhi Ziaduo let Sigui out and said, Sigui, can you follow him? Sigui flew into the wind and snow to track Lang Dog. Zhi Ziaduo felt that he was about to be frozen stiff and said, all right, let's find something to eat first. I won't come north for the winter anymore. Xian Hezi rode a motorcycle, and the two of them braved through the blizzard and circled around a few times to find a small shop that was open all night. Zhi Ziaduo went in and bought instant noodles. As soon as he reached into his pocket, he found that he hadn't brought any money. All the money was with Kita. Xian Hezi said, I'll lend you 20 yuan. Thank you. Zhi Ziaduo replied. Please treat me to instant noodles ba. Xian Hezi said, I only brought 20. Zhi Ziaduo. You came all the way to Kaifeng from Beijing and are telling me you only have 20 yuan on you. That's a bald-faced lie. Do I look so dumb? Zhi Ziaduo just wanted to slam the instant noodles down on Xian Hezi's head, but he thought about it and held back. The shop owner made instant noodles for them, and Zhi Ziaduo wolfed it down while calling Chen Zhen. No one answered in Beijing, so probably, they were all asleep. Zhi Ziaduo was so sleepy that his head was about to dunk into the noodle bowl. To reinvigorate himself, he sent a WeChat message to Chen Zhen. A moment later, Chen Zhen's account sent a reply. Gege is in a meeting. Take Xiang Cheng away from Kaifeng immediately, they're coming to arrest people. Xian Hezi glanced ambiguously at Zhi Ziaduo's cell phone. It was snowing all over the city, and over on the other side of the city. Yes, yes. Chao Bin held his cell phone and said, Xian Hezi went to save Ziaduo. Chen Zhen's voice came from the phone, make every effort to keep him stable. I'll ask Mr. Zhou to check the dossier immediately. Better hurry up. Chao Bin said, none of us are his match, and I don't know what's going on with Kita's side. He's watching Xiang Cheng. Chen Zhen said. Chao Bin, dressed in a black suit, hung up the phone and transformed into Hu Xiniang again. He said to Wang Lei, they are now going to check file No 1730. Behind Hu Xiniang, Wang Lei and Jinghao followed him. You don't sound like Chao Bin. Jinghao said. Whatever. Hu Xiniang said, they must jump into the strap. What's next for us? Jinghao said, there are 8 hours left, are we just supposed to wait? Hu Xiniang said, you guys go back ba. I still want to play around with him. Jinghao said, after digging out Zhi Ziaduo's eyes, leave him to me to slowly play with. Hu Xiniang sneered in a non-committal fashion, transformed into Zhi Ziaduo, and walked to the bathhouse across the road. Xiang Cheng was a little fidgety, sitting there with his cell phone turned off. He wanted to get up several times, but he couldn't make a decision. Finally, he pressed his cell phone and turned it on. There were more than 120 missed calls on his cell phone, as well as QQ messages, WeChat messages, and text messages, all sent by Zhi Ziaduo. Xiang Cheng, don't be impulsive. Where are you? Are you there? Please reply as soon as you see the message. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Xiang Cheng read them one by one and put his thumb on the callback button, but he couldn't press it. He edited a short text message. Ziaduo. Zhi Ziaduo's name flashed as the caller ID, and Xiang Cheng trembled a little. Where are you? Zhi Ziaduo's voice said hurriedly, thank God, I finally found you. I'll be back by noon tomorrow. Xiang Cheng said, or at 4 at the latest. Zhi Ziaduo, I'm in Kaifeng. Why are you following me again? Xiang Cheng said angrily, can't you just listen to me for once? Where are you? Zhi Ziaduo looked at Xian Hezi, who was smoking outside, and dared not say more, tell me your location, and I'll come right away. Don't do anything, and don't say anything. Xiang Cheng didn't answer. He was silent for a moment and hung up the call. Zhi Ziaduo called again, but Xiang Cheng didn't answer. He turned off the phone and lay on the sofa in the bathhouse lounge, looking at the heavy snow outside the window. When he saw Zhi Ziaduo running over, Xiang Cheng was stunned, then he picked up his bag and rushed out of the bathhouse. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. In a hotel across the road, Kita and Duan Shixing were on the first floor of the hotel. Kita's clothes were dirty, and his sleeves were rolled up. Duan Shixing was already falling over in exhaustion and had band-aids stuck to his face. The two men were sitting in a dark restaurant with a warm little candle in front of him. Duan Shixing. Kita. Duan Shixing, two big men, with a lit candle between them, are we dating or what? Gagan Torura, don't you feel flustered? No. Kita protected the candle and said, I'm afraid of the dark. Duan Shixing scrolled through his cell phone a few times and said impatiently, why do such things always happen with your exorcist committee? I don't know. Kita said, I also want to finish the work quickly and go back to sleep, okay. What can I do if it's orders from Beijing? Duan Shixing said, who on earth is that man? Is he worth making such a big fuss over? Kita shrugged and said, Chen Zhen asked me not to act first. Let me tell you ba, definitely don't say anything woo. Xiang Cheng is related to an old case from 10 years ago. Duan Shixing's eyebrows furrowed, and Kita looked out of the landing window at the bathhouse opposite. That rainy night on Mount Ba? Duan Shixing asked. Keaton nodded and replied, Xiang Jianhua is his father. The Exorcist committee is most afraid of this man, because they are afraid that he will come back for revenge. What's he like? Duan Shixing asked. He's a good man, Kita said. Duan Shixing, forget it, there are few good people in this world. Kita replied, he really is a good man. He seems to be silent, but sometimes I look at him, and I feel indignant on his behalf. What are we doing now? Duan Shixing said, in a word, I've been tossed around with you all day, and we still didn't find Zhi Ziaduo. Kita looked out of the window and said, the bootlicker has found him and will bring him later. Beijing said to wait and watch the situation. Ziaduo. Zhi Ziaduo came along the road and ran to the bathhouse on the opposite side. Kita and Duan Shixing immediately got up and rushed out of the hotel. Duan Shixing shivered and came back to put on a down jacket. Here, here. Kita whispered. Zhi Ziaduo turned a deaf ear and went the opposite way. Kita ran out onto the road in a hurry, and Zhi Ziaduo looked back, his eyes looking strange. Don't go there. Keaton nearly slipped on the snow and staggered forward, grabbing Zhi Ziaduo's wrist to take him back to the hotel. At the same moment, Xiang Cheng rushed out of the bathhouse. He was dumbfounded for a single moment before he realized that Kita had been watching him and was immediately furious. They are waiting for reinforcements from the big team to kill you. A voice sounded in Xiang Cheng's heart. Let him go. Xiang Cheng roared, fuck off. In just a second, Zhi Ziaduo ran away. Kita stepped forward and said, calm down. Great immortal Xiang. Xiang Cheng took advantage of the momentum to come flying down on one foot, and Kita blocked with both arms. Duan Shixing came out of the hotel and seeing them taking action, he immediately turned pale and stepped forward to block. Xiang Cheng pulled out his demon-subduing staff and swept it out in an arc. Kita pushed out in circles with both arms, and the grey wolf howled, taking form to protect Zhi Ziaduo and Duan Shixing behind him. Kita yelled in the middle of all this, old Duan, don't do anything. He's one of us. Through blasts of snow, the black boss snake Huan appeared behind Xiang Cheng, wrapped around the wolf to send it spinning away, then swept out with its snake tail, hitting Kita right in the chest. Kita had no intentions to fight with Xiang Cheng, and took up a defensive posture without saying a word. When he was opening his mouth, he was slammed into by a huge force, and he immediately spit up blood and fell back. Like hell he's one of us Duan Shixing fell into the snow, pulled out a gun, and pointed it at Xiang Cheng. Pang pang pang, 3 shots went off, and Xiang Cheng rolled with Zhi Ziaduo in his arms and fled into the bathhouse. On both sides of the street, the guests in the hotels woke up, and the lights in the rooms all turned on. Duan Shixing wanted to chase after him, but Kita struggled to crawl around in the snow. Duan Shixing hurried to help Kita, and the two of them staggered to hide in the hotel. End chapter.